Hey there, ambitious souls, coaches, entrepreneurs, and go-getters. Welcome back to another episode of Diaries of a Six-Figure Coach podcast, where I plan real talk and actionable strategies to help you scale and make your first 100K in your biz. I am Theresa Lambert, and I'm here to guide you through both the highs and, also the lows of this incredible journey we call entrepreneurship. And I hope you're ready for a juicy one, because today we're going to break some myths and light a fire under those dreams of yours, because we are talking about how one of my clients had a jaw-dropping $65,000 launch with a brand new high-ticket program, a small audience, and zero launch experience. So you definitely want to grab your notebook and pen, because we're going to be diving deep. But I want to take a pause here for a second. Maybe you're thinking right now, oh my God, $65,000 launch, that feels so far away. I want us to pause here for a second, because I want you to know that, again, this was not something this client had ever done before. When we launched this program, she had never launched something. This was the most she ever charged for a program. And she was like ready to do it, ready to put in the work, ready to show up for it. But she was not somebody who was already experiencing consistency of 10K months or hitting six figures. At the point when we began this launch, it seemed like there was a lot on the line. She was, quote unquote, on the beginning journey of her business, of launching, of welcoming clients into her new high ticket program. So we're not talking about a seasoned entrepreneur. We're talking about someone who'd been in business at the point of us launching, not even quite a year. She was going onto her first full year. And she hadn't been in my mentorship space for a few months. Okay. So I want to start with that, because I want you to understand where we started out. Okay. When she came to me, she was ready to throw in the towel, actually. She was feeling exhausted and burned out. And she was literally having a million ideas, and she was trying to execute on all of them. And so if you missed last week's episode, go to last week's episode on what to do when you're ready to quit. And I'm so glad this client didn't quit, because imagine she quit. Imagine she didn't reach out. Imagine she didn't get the support and do the things that I'm about to share with you. She would have never had the $65,000 launch. She would have never welcomed these clients. She would have never been able to bring her gifts out into the world through this new way if she would have quit. So if you're feeling like this feels far removed, I want you to pause for a second, because this is closer than you think. Okay? So I'm pre-framing this for this episode. But now let's bust some myths on top of that. You don't have to have tons of experience, okay? We busted that one. But I want to tackle this one belief that is a really big one that so many entrepreneurs have. And it's the belief that you need a massive audience to make big money. And I want to put that misconception to bed right now. Size isn't everything. I mean, size matters in different ways, but when it comes to business and launching, size isn't everything. Your audience size isn't everything. What counts is really the quality of the connection that you have with your audience. So if you're saying, but Theresa, my audience is tiny, don't worry. I've got you covered, okay? I've got you covered. It's quality that matters. So again, when I first met this incredible client, I did an audit on her business. I do business audits with all of my clients. And essentially what it is, now it has evolved, but what it is, I literally fine comb through your business before we even get on our 2-hour kickoff call. And in that initial audit, it became very clear for me that her focus was her biggest need. She needed to focus, because like many entrepreneurs, as I mentioned, she had a million ideas and she was trying to juggle them all, and she was feeling exhausted by doing it all and literally on the verge of quitting. So we did some game-changing work together that was really, really necessary, and that took time as well. And there was a lot of resistance that also came with that. And so the thing is, And we actually had her on this podcast a few episodes back, so you can go check it out as well. But the thing is, she was willing to do the work. So focus was the name of the game here. Focus. Focusing on less, focusing on specifics, focusing on tightening, focusing on working with less people, but at a higher impact, both on her and both on her clients. So the first thing that we did was we honed in and narrowed down her niche, drilling down to where her true strengths lies. Who was she going to mentor and coach? Who were the people that were going to be really benefit from the work that we were doing together? And it took us a while to do that because we sort of had to go through like a maze with her to get there. And there was a lot of resistance about narrowing down. Like so many of us, we have this idea of all these different people that we want to serve. And we have so many ideas and so many gifts, and we don't want to leave anyone behind. And I see this a lot. And I have severely struggled with this. But when you hone down your niche, when you get really focused on who is my office for, who are the people that I can share the gift that I am here to give, and you get really clear on that one client, that one person that's ideal, then you can speak to her or to him directly. So that was the number one thing we did. The first thing we did was we had to get clear on our niche because it was way too wide and she was doing all these different things, wanting to work with all these different clients, and it was exhausting her and it was keeping her busy artificially, but it wasn't really having an impact, nor for how she was feeling in her business or her bank account. Okay, so twofold here, right? So that was the first thing. And then we clarified her big promise. What was the actual result that she was able to get clients? And you can think this for yourself, right? Like, who are you serving? Who is the one? And second, what's your big promise? So for her, we really had to clarify what is that? What is the ultimate result that she is able to get people? What's the one thing? Okay, the one thing. And again, if you listen to last week's episode, I shared a little bit that I'm in this process right now again too in my business to refining and retightening and re-strengthening. And it is likely that you will keep doing this along the way as you scale to get more narrow, because the reality is the more you focus, the more you simplify, the more you can actually expand and grow your business. So this might sound a bit controversial to what you've heard or what you believe right now, but it really works. So we clarified her big promise. We got really clear on what is the result that she is getting people. And then the next thing we did is we started to design her high ticket group program that showcased her expertise, that was supporting her ideal clients to get them the result that is her big promise. Okay, so we really dove in and we're like designing a specific program for a specific client solving a specific problem. Okay, narrowing it down. And as part of that, the fourth thing we really did was created her framework and mapped out the framework she was already using, but really we normalized that. Now, what is a framework? Okay, a framework is your methodology. Ultimately, it is the steps and the path you take someone on to get them from point A, where they're right now. That's the undesirable state that they're in, the present state that they're in, the hell that they're living day to day, the shit that's not working, to where they want to go, the place that they're experiencing the results, the place where it feels like heavenly, the place where it feels like I just want to be there already, a place of ease, a place of joy, where their goals are already there. What are all the steps, right? For me, it's like, what am I doing to get you from having zero launch experience, no high ticket program, and a small audience to launching a $65,000 program? Here's some of the steps that I take you through to be able to do that. And I actually use two methodologies, a scale method, which is my bigger methodology that is a holistic approach to business, and then my vibe method, which is specifically narrows down into launches and what I use for your offer creation, where we really get clear on your vision, the path to cash, what needs to be built on the back end to support you, and then have you go through the launch and experience it. Okay. getting to that in a minute. But we created a framework for her program. We got really clear on what is she exactly doing with people to make sure that they are going to get the result that she is promising. This is really important, and this will help you stand out amongst other people in your industry, amongst other people who may do a similar thing, because your methodology, your framework, that is your secret sauce. It's your approach. It's the way that you work, and it is unique to you. But having a framework does two things. It builds trust in your audience, and it allows you to very clearly communicate how people can bridge the gap. And when we can communicate how people can bridge the gap, we literally are positioning our programs, offers, and services to sell. So this is a biggie, okay? Pay attention. I've shared a lot recently about frameworks on my Instagram. So if you're not following me there yet, follow me there at Theresa Lambert Coaching, and you can dive in. Okay, so the fourth thing was we created her framework for her signature program. And then the fifth thing was that we customized her launch strategy. Okay, we kept her lifestyle and other business commitments that she already had in mind, which was really, really important. She's also a mom. She has two beautiful children. She's got corporate clients that she works with. So she has a bunch of things happening in her work, in her life, that are important to her. So we wanted to make sure her launch process really encompasses that. And we wanted to make sure that we really got her quality leads for her program. Quality, not quantity. Okay, this is coming back to what I said earlier, that you don't really need a big audience. You don't need hundreds of people in your master classes. You don't need a lot of people. You need the right people and ready to buy clients, ready to buy buyers, ready to buy buyers. Yeah, ready to buy buyers that can turn into clients. So we focused on creating this custom launch strategy to make sure that her content was speaking to her ideal clients. We got clear on a lead generation event. In her case, it was a masterclass that she was doing that was part of the launch to generate leads and generate specific calls that we set up that then would lead into them signing in the mastermind. So that is what we did when she launched. And we had a long launch for her. It was a few months long. And then lastly, what we did before every single sales call, she reached out to me and we literally chatted and strategized before every single sales call, and she was able to convert at an unbelievable 50%. And I think that that is really, really remarkable. And if you're not sure what the average conversion is, most people convert about, I'd say, like maybe 10% of their sales calls. 30% is the industry standard. So 50% conversion on sales is huge, and you can do it if you're really preparing yourself. So those were the 6 steps we took her on and I worked on with. We nailed her niche. We designed a high ticket group program showcasing her expertise. We got clear on her big promise. We created a framework that made her stand out in her marketplace and allowed her to clearly communicate her value and how she was getting people results. We customized a launch strategy together. She launched, and then we literally focused on each of those sales calls, and she converted at 50%. So those were the things that needed to happen. And that is really the power as well of getting strategic mentorship, right? Like, it's the courage to say yes to mentorship that really transformed her journey. And she spoke about that a lot. She speaks about that a lot as well. And she sold her program and reached 6 figures within just 8 months of us working together. And she continues to scale her business, which is amazing. She already has so much on the books for the coming years. She will be literally she's already set up for a 6-figure year. So she'll definitely be scaling to multi 6 figures in the coming year. And that's so exciting. But imagine she had waited. Right? Imagine she had waited. Imagine she wouldn't have signed up. And I remember she was scared. She was scared when we had that conversation. She was scared to drop 15K. And she literally shared on her stories the other day, she invested $15,000. And since total sales, since investing 15K, it was $200,000. Imagine the return on investment here. A $15,000 investment for $200,000 in revenue. That is huge. Just imagine she would have quit. Imagine she would have thrown in the towel, right? Like last week when I said, what do you do when you want to quit? I shared that so often we reach this point of being like, oh my God, I just want to throw in the towel. I just want to quit. I don't know that's for you. When we're so freaking close. When we're so close to get past it, but we can't do it alone. We gotta get support. We gotta lean in. We gotta learn from experts, from mentors who've done what you want to do. We got to embrace some support here when we're in these places, because it's clear that we've sort of reached the end of what we can do. And honestly, you didn't get into business to be an expert on business. You may not be a business strategist, and that's okay, because you can hire support, right? But she wouldn't have a $65,000 launch or a six-figure income or the impact that she has now if she would have waited until she's ready, if she would have waited to invest, if she would have waited. She went for it. She went all in. She has an incredible, incredible work ethic. And I'm just so proud of her for doing it. And I think that that is so important, right? I think that's something to realize and something to lean into, is that what I shared with you today was some strategies, some things that we did. But also, what I want you to understand through what I shared today is that it's about using a strategy or using tactics and really aligning them with something that's uniquely yours, that aligns with who you are and what your audience needs, right? What they really want, right? And I think that's really important. Plus, your willingness to go all in, your willingness to show up for it, your willingness to get uncomfortable, your willingness to narrow, to simplify, to focus, your willingness to say, I am going to open myself up to this process. And listen, if she can achieve this with a small audience and zero launch experience, why can't you? Why can't you? So if you're ready to make an impact, if you're ready to experience bigger launches, bigger impact, scaling, and getting that to that first 100K mark, then I want you to know that my mastermind is enrolling now. And this is really where we ultimately going to shatter those glass ceilings that you might have unintentionally placed on yourself. And we're going to get you to your 100K and then beyond. Because I know that you're ready for this level of success. I know that you're ready for more freedom and more impact. I know that you're ready to stop thinking that a small audience is holding you up, or that you're needing to create 10 more things before you're able to launch, or all this stuff that you're putting onto yourself. It doesn't have to be this complicated, right? There gets to be more ease, there gets to be more guidance, there gets to be more possibility, there gets to be multiple 5-figure launches, there gets to be clarity, there gets to be just ease and focus around how you're communicating what you're doing. And when you can hit those points, it literally is like a tap turning on. It literally is like a tap turning on. And we're now like a month and a half past her launch, past her having this incredible experience. And literally she's having more and more people reaching out that are ready to work with her, because we got so focused, because we got so specific, because it really is honoring who she is and her expertise, and because she really beautifully communicated how she can support people. And it really is for her a gift that she has to share with the world. And I'm so excited for everything that she's creating and everything that she's working on moving forward, and all the women that have joined her in her space to get her guidance. So proud. So you're ready for this. You're ready for more. So the last question really I want you to ask today, what is it going to be? Are you going to keep waiting until you're ready? Or you're going to make the move that could change your life forever? The choice is yours, right? The choice is yours. This is one of my clients. She's had an amazing transformation, and you get to be next. I loved sharing this case study today. I love breaking this down, and I'm excited for more episodes like this, for more episodes where I share incredible client case studies around what we're doing. This is a new thing that I want to do and bring to you as I have found my clarity, as I have moved through some of my shadows. So until next time, keep crushing those goals. If you're ready for the mastermind, the link is in the show notes. You can check it out. I'm so grateful for all of you to be here. It is such a joy, and I can't wait to work with so many of you in the coming year and to make really beautiful, beautiful things happen. Whether you're here on my podcast, whether you're in my Instagram community, or whether you choose to join me for your first 100K mastermind, in any ways that I can support you, I'm thrilled to be here. I love you all so much, and I'll chat with you all soon.